Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Today, we're going to be doing a little breakdown and guide for another overpowered pick in solo queue that can hopefully help you guys gain a ton of LP right before the season ends. Obviously, we're coming up on the very end of Season 10. We just had the World Finals, which means we're very close to getting into pre-Season 11, all the hype and craziness and everything that comes with that. So it's really important that right now at the end of Season 10, you're winning as many games as you can. You're pulling out the most overpowered picks. You're having the best strategy and everything going into the game, so you can get that rank and end the season strong. So today we're talking about tank Rengar jungle. This got pulled out by SofM in the World Finals. He is the jungler for Suning Gaming. He actually pulled this pick out in the one game that they won. Part of the reason that this pick is so good and the reason that they specifically pulled it out is tank Rengar is an amazing counter pick to Evelyn. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm seeing a ton of Evelyns in my game right now. I'm seeing a ton of Evelyn in solo queue, and they're usually pretty annoying to play against, and they're usually winning a ton of games. So hopefully now, after this video, you will have an awesome counter pick to start taking down Evelyns more often, and again, being able to win those games and gain that LP. First up, talking about the rune page that SofM used to pull off this pick. This is still Conqueror Rengar with Triumph, Legend Alacrity, and Last Stand. This is Inspiration Secondary with Magical Footwear and Cosmic Insight. As far as the build, this part is really important too. This is going to be Blue Smite into Cinderhulk Rengar. Then you're going to be getting Boots of Lucidity. And in professional play, SofM was going Knight's Vow, but really you can go any tank item after that has CDR on it. Knight's Vow isn't usually the best item for solo queue. He's going Spirit Visage, he is going Bramble Vest, and then a Warmogs. And then you also have the option to upgrade the Bramble Vest as well, but just getting the Bramble is going to be really good. Again, making sure you get a ton of tank items, a ton of resistances and health, but then also the CDR that's coming from the items like your Knight's Vow, like your Boots of Lucidity, like your Spirit Visage. This is going to be so good for Rengar. Because having those extra cooldowns is going to make you so annoying. You're going to be getting off more W's, healing for more. It's also allowing you to stack up your passive more often to get more stuns, to get more heals. And that's what's going to be super good about tank Rengar. The more utility and stuff you can provide in a fight, and the longer you can survive, you still end up dealing an insane amount of damage over time in the fight. Especially because you're able to stay alive longer, you're stacking up Conqueror more often. And most importantly, you're not getting one shot by Evelyn, especially once you finish that Spirit Visage. You're going to have some magic resist. You're also going to have enough health, resistances, and your W to just completely negate her from one-shotting you, which is going to be so good. Another reason why tank Rengar is super good against Evelyn is just Rengar's ult. Obviously, it reveals the nearest enemy in like a pretty big radius, especially as you start to put points in it. So if you ever think Evelyn is looking for a cheeky little assassination or a flank or something like that, you just pop that Rengar ult, you spot her out, and then your team is able to hop right on her and hopefully take her out of the fight, take her out of the game. But I just did think this pick was really interesting. Apparently SofM used to be a Rengar one-trick back in his solo queue days, so he knows a ton about Rengar, he knows a ton about all the matchups, so he's definitely a guy to follow what he's doing. And if he knows that tank Rengar just absolutely destroys Evelyn, then hey, who are we to judge? Also, he won a game with this pick in the World Finals, so this pick must be pretty solid, it must be pretty good. Again, I would probably play around with the build a little bit. I don't know that I would necessarily build Knight's Vow in solo queue, but depending on who your team is, if there's somebody good you can attach it to, it could still be a very strong pick. I do think Rengar is usually really good for solo queue though, especially as people start to learn him, because he has so many different builds, play styles. He is just so versatile. He can play into a lot of different matchups, into a lot of different team compositions, and with a lot of team compositions very effectively. Obviously, you don't just want to jump into solo queue right away pulling this off, but I think there's a time and place for it, especially with Evelyn being so good and so strong in the meta right now and so prevalent. I think there is some openings for some tank Rengar. As far as the build order, you're going to be starting out with Q, and then W, and then E, and then maxing Q, maxing W, and maxing E. Obviously, putting a point in ult at 6, 11, and 16 when you can, because again, getting those points in your ultimate is going to be very important, because that's going to be expanding the radius of your ult. That you can actually spot out Evelyn when she's invis, which is going to be super good. Also on the screen, as you see, picking up Sweeper is going to be another big thing as well. And yeah, just making sure you're stacking up your Conqueror, making sure you're using your abilities as often as you can, because with this build, with Cosmic Insight, you're going to be having 40% CDR, you're going to have a ton of cooldowns. It's going to be all about getting those abilities off as much as you can, being as useful as you can. And again, even though you're going to lack some damage, you're going to make up for it in damage over time because you're going to still be alive in that fight when a different Rengar, squishier Rengar build might be dead. And it's just going to be really, really annoying for the other team. Really playing tank Rengar into any assassin, I think, could be a very, very good matchup. But obviously, there's a lot of reasons why SofM pulled this out in the World Finals, specifically against Evelyn. And again, it went really, really well because they lost that series 3-1. But this is the one game that they won. So I think there might be something to this pick. But that's pretty much it for the video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about tank Rengar? And if you try it out, let me know how that goes. Subscribe to update on my latest content. Check me out over at Twitch at I/_am I_am_germ. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.